Okay, let's dive right into today's explainer. We're looking at a fascinating piece of source material that basically acts as an autobiography for the human body's most underappreciated feature. I mean, think about it. When we talk about human anatomy, we're always obsessing over the brain, the heart, maybe the muscles. But today, we are focusing entirely on the hidden, downright incredible superpowers of your nose, told straight from its own perspective. And trust me, by the time we're done here, you are going to realize that this little structure right in the middle of your face is pulling off some of the most complex biological engineering imaginable.
The source points out a really funny yet stark contrast between how artists see us and undeniable biological reality. Throughout history, poets have penned endless romantic verses about the beauty of eyes, the shape of lips, the flow of hair, but the nose, it barely gets a passing mention. Maybe someone calls it sharp or straight, but that's about it. Well, biology tells a completely different story. Whether you think a nose is beautiful or not doesn't matter, because it is the absolute lifeline of the human body. Without that constant, rhythmic flow of breath it sustains, all those other highly praised features would literally turn into a lifeless pile of bones and flesh in just a few minutes.
The source uses this absolutely brilliant analogy to explain this. Quote, "If eyes are your body's coastal borders, I am your mountainous border." It's so true, right? If your eyes are those soft, sweeping coastal borders just taking in the view, your nose is the rugged, tough, mountainous border region. It's sitting right there, acting as the ultimate frontline defense. It's an active, working guardian performing countless services for you, most of which you will never even realize are happening. Which brings us to part one, the unseen guardian of the night. We usually assume that when we go to sleep, our nose just kind of acts like a passive tube for air. But it is actually working the night shift. It actively monitors your body's physical state to make sure you don't injure yourself while you're completely unconscious. Picture this. You've been sleeping heavily on your left side for, say, 2 hours. Because you haven't moved, the blood flow to that side starts to become seriously restricted. Well, your left nostril actually detects this subtle drop in circulation. It instantly fires off a silent load-shedding warning signal straight to your brain. The brain gets the memo, commands your muscles, and without you ever waking up, you automatically roll over to your other side. Your nose is literally keeping your limbs from going completely numb while you sleep. I mean, how wild is that? Moving on to its daytime duties, the source affectionately calls the nose the food check post. It is essentially the strict biological bouncer at the door of your stomach. Every single piece of food, every drop of water you consume in your entire life has to get past this checkpoint first. Without it, we'd all be mindlessly eating spoiled food and drinking dangerous water. And here's the coolest part. Before food even touches your mouth, the nose has already kickstarted your digestion. The second the aroma of a delicious meal hits your nostrils, your nose fires rapid signals to your salivary glands. Within seconds, these glands pump out essential digestive fluids that coat your mouth, your tongue, and your whole digestive tract. Crucially, this rush of fluid washes over your tongue, resetting those tiny sensory bumps, your taste buds, so you can actually taste the flavor. That whole amazing experience of eating? Yeah, it starts with the nose. Think back to the last time you had a terrible cold and your nose was completely stuffed up. Because you lost the ability to smell, your meals became totally tasteless, right? You probably lost your appetite completely, and anything you forced down just tasted like bland cardboard or medicine. The source makes it crystal clear. If that blockage persisted long-term, it would actually lead to severe weight loss, simply because the fundamental joy and biological drive to eat gets totally shut off when the nose isn't participating. Actually, try something for me real quick. Go ahead and pinch your nostrils completely shut and try speaking a full sentence out loud. I'll bet your voice instantly transformed into this bizarre, muffled, nasal caricature. We always assume speech is just the job of the mouth and lips, but proper, clear speech is literally, biologically impossible without the acoustic support of your nasal passages. Okay, let's move into part two, inside the mountain, the architecture. Let's look past the dividing septum to the cave-like area sandwiched right between the roof of your mouth and your brain. The magic number here is 8. We are talking about 8 hollow bone structures, called sinuses, that surround this area. It's not just empty space up there. It is a meticulously designed, highly complex ventilation network. These 8 hidden chambers are strategically placed right above your eyes, inside your cheeks, between your eyes, and nestled deep at the back of the nasal cavity. They are the secret echo chambers that perfectly modulate your voice, giving it its unique resonance. But even more importantly, they help the nose actively moisturize every single breath you take, making absolutely sure your delicate lungs never dry out. And that perfectly sets up part 3, nature's super air conditioner.
From your very first cry at birth, the nose turns on a climate control plant that never stops until your final breath. 500 cubic feet. That is the immense volume of air your nose meticulously cleans and processes for your lungs every single day. 500 cubic feet. That is enough to fill a small room. Your lungs are incredibly delicate. They absolutely cannot handle raw, untreated air straight from the environment. Supplying this massive volume safely is a heavy-duty industrial task, and your nose handles it silently, in the background, 24/7.
And it gets crazier. Whether you are freezing on an icy glacier or standing in a cold winter wind, your nose miraculously heats incoming air to exactly 90 degrees Fahrenheit for the lungs. Your lungs do not care if you're standing in a bone-chilling blizzard. They strictly demand warm air. So before that freezing air can even reach your chest, your nose acts as an instant, high-powered furnace, warming it up to a perfect, lung-friendly 90 degrees. It handles humidity too. Even in bone-dry, dusty plains or heavily polluted cities filled with diesel smoke, it strictly maintains the incoming air's humidity right between 75 and 80%. If you're walking through a dry desert or a smoggy city, your nose aggressively traps the dirt and germs and rigorously humidifies the air to that exact 75 to 80% sweet spot. If it didn't meet these strict demands, it would be fatal. Yet your nose manages it effortlessly. The explainer points out a really fun comparison here. Just imagine if you had to replicate this artificially. You would literally have to lug around a massive, heavy, humming air conditioning unit with you everywhere you went, just to process the air for your lungs. You'd need constant electricity and endless maintenance. Instead, actually scratch the machine comparison. Nature has given you a super air conditioner that weighs mere ounces, requires zero electricity, works flawlessly for decades, and was given to you absolutely free of charge. So I'll leave you with this final thought. It's your silent night watchman, your digestive gatekeeper, your voice modulator, and a relentless, high-powered air processing plant keeping your lungs alive. Will you ever look at your free, lifetime super air conditioner the exact same way again? Next time you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, take just a second to appreciate the downright incredible engineering of your mountainous border. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.